This is the Taipan version 2 thermal, and this I know is a 19, I believe, as far as the lens on here. And we will show you that, but 6.5 hours of battery life, but it works on a rechargeable 18650 battery, like a flashlight battery. So you can recharge the batteries, you'll see in a second, but you can swap the batteries in the field too. That is huge. If you're out there running it for a long time, or you're like when I'm on my Midwest trips and I don't have access to take this thing and plug it in like the other ones where you got to plug it in, leave it run for 4 or 5 hours, it's nice to have those batteries, okay, to be able to swap batteries out by taking an extra battery with you. Inside of this thing, I'm so excited for this thermal. I have an AGM already. I got the AGM, the 160. I'll link it at the end of this, but I've used that one now for over a year, and I straight up love it. It's incredible. It's the cheapest one they offer, so it's very low resolution, but it still does the job very well. This is almost their highest resolution. They do got a couple models above this that are way out of my range, price range wise. But this one, reasonable enough that anybody can probably afford this. I mean, it costs just a little bit more than your average iPhone does today. And yet this thing has got a lot of potential to it. So we will look at it. User's manual comes right here. Okay, see what else we got. There's a scope, but what's this? Let's see what this is. Little side pouch thing here, this little side compartment, we have a neoprene, very nice neoprene, not cloth, a neoprene tube sack, very, very nice. We got a charger, a battery charger, USB, I don't know what's going on there. Look at that cool funky charger, what's happening there, that's interesting. We'll have to see what that is. And we got a American charger here. This must be for someplace else or something. We're gonna have to check that out. But there we go. We got 2 charging brackets or connectors. We have a USB cord. We got a card from them. Do not return this to the store. We got other cards in here. Tell you a little bit about it. And we got looks like a lens cloth right here is what I'm assuming that is a lens cloth. So that does that. But we got more stuff under this. We take this one out. Here we go. They give you your own charger. Okay, look at that. That looks very similar to my Nightcore twin charger that I already use, and I love it. But you get another charger right here for the batteries, and they give you an 18650 battery and another 18650 battery. They give you 2 batteries, and they have these are pretty sweet little cases right here. Look at those. Okay, and then here it is right here. This is a standard button cell, 3200 milliamp hour. And it should say on here 18650. I don't see 18650 written on here anywhere, but I'm assuming that these are I'm pretty sure they're 18650s based on the size. So any 18650 button top battery will work for this thing here for it too. So very nice, but they give you 2 of them. 2 batteries and these cool little cases. I like these little cases, they're nice too. Throw one of them in your pack, you got that extra. So very nice setup in here that they're giving you. I'm hoping you guys can still see all that stuff there for you. And then we have a instruction manual for the battery charger right here too. So that's kind of nice. And then we got the actual thermal. So it looks like that's everything in the box. All right. Here it is right here. Look at this little gem. Look at this thing right there. Man. Nice, lightweight, objective lens set up right there. And this is, like I said, this thing is going to be impressive. Right here, look at this. Flip up, lock, pops out, battery goes right into there. Drop your battery right in the side. This can't get lost. It's tethered. That's nice. Your battery sits on top of that. Put that back in. And we gotta get the tabs in. There we go. That goes down and in and up and locks, and there it is. So there it is. So nice access to the battery on the side. Buttons real tactical. We're going to dive into this thing and we're going to go through it. Obviously, we got diopter correction or adjustment on here. You have all of your mode buttons that we will go through 100%, your power button. But I like how big and bulky and tactical those buttons are. Look at that. Those are, and they got high ridges. So real easy to feel exactly what mode you're hitting and what you're hitting. Feels good in the hand, good grip. I like that this is tethered on there too, which is nice. And you got some kind of adjustment here too. We're going to have to look at this. Like I said, this is pretty impressive I've never owned a thermal of this caliper before. Nice eye cup, huge window in there. I'm excited to see what this thing is all about. So, and I can't get over how lightweight this is. This is light and small and compact, yet such a powerhouse. Okay, this is a 384 resolution model of this. So like I said, this is outstanding. I cannot wait. We're going to get these batteries charged up, and we're going to dive into this. I will run the specs for this so you can see it right now, and you're going to see these things running. Like I said, this is the 19. They got a 15. They got a Taipan 15, which is wider angle. Then they got the 19, which is the middle of the road, and then they got a 25, which is really tight. And I wanted something that's going to work for hunting. I have two other thermals. One is really wide. The 160 I have is really wide. And I find I got to zoom in a lot. And I'm always working on like 2 power as I'm scanning for animals when I'm doing blood trailing and recovery. And then I have the top-down model, which is equivalent to what this is, and I love its little bit of magnification. It's like a 1.5 or 2 power magnification, and it works so fantastic. So this 19 fits right in that same field of view area, and I'm super excited. But I specifically wanted the 19 over the 15 or 25. Both amazing for different purposes of use, but this one here is going to, that perfect middle of the road is that 19. The Taipan V2 19 is what we have here. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get this dude batteries charged up. We'll be back with you soon here with some more information on this thing. Then we're going to put it through the test and through the ringer and see what she's capable of. All right, so it's been a few days. We're back. We've been using this thing religiously for the last week, and I straight up love it. This thing is amazing. It is everything that you would expect, everything that you want. We're going to kind of break down the features, and I'm going to show you all the footage that I've taken with this thing. We've used it quite a bit. Like I said, this is so impressive. So first off, too, this is a really nice feature. All right, so if we take this, for example, I have it on right now, and we have on here, we have a mode with the phone, an app. So if I shine it over here, like right there, I don't know, there's my wife over there sitting on the couch. There's a dog over there on that couch that you can see, but you can see that it all runs through the phone on the app. So what's really nice about that feature is that I can take this, so if I'm driving through the woods, and I'm just for fun purposes, or if I'm driving around and we're looking for things, I can literally take this scope and I can just hold it out the window and point it this way, and I can drive, and I can have this in my truck mounted on my phone mount in my car. And I can have that sitting there, and I can actually, just as I'm going slow down the back roads, I can see everything on my phone. And I can, as I'm holding this, oh, hold on, back up, stop. And I can look, and I can zoom, and I can do everything right through this phone app. Where another place this would come in really cool for this feature is if you're riding a motorcycle, especially if you're running dirt bikes through the woods, things like that at night, any of that kind of stuff, or even driving down the road at night, you could mount this. It has a tripod socket. You could put this on a GoPro setup or anything and mount this right on your helmet, or even on your handlebars, and then again, put your phone right on your handlebars, and you can see in front of you anything as you're driving. On a head mount would be nice on a helmet, because then as you can turn your head a little bit as you're driving and scan, but having this mounted on a bike would be pretty sweet. I have used this thing, you'll see in the video here coming up, I have recorded video with this thing going 35 miles an hour as I was going through there, just holding out the window on an angle like this, and it was flawless. So a lot of really cool things. This app is very impressive. The capabilities of this thing is impressive. The refresh rate is spot on. I mean, there is a reason that that AGM builds what they do, and there's a reason that this is this high end. The other beautiful thing I love is the replaceable battery, okay? The fact that this thing has, I'm going to turn this off now that we're done with that. So the shutdown takes 5 seconds, which takes, it's like, okay, come on, get her done. For it to turn off. The only complaint I have on this thing is that when you put it in standby mode, so when you actually tap the button and it just turns off the display to say battery, when you're wearing it, it stays off when it's like this. No problem whatsoever. However, as soon as you tip it like this, it turns back on. So if you're walking and this thing moves around, it's going to turn back on. That turn off, that tap to come on, that sleep mode doesn't work very good on this, because the second it tips, which is kind of nice, so you can grab it and you don't even have to hit the button and it comes on. But it's annoying because if you're walking, it comes on quite often. So there's really not a sleep mode. But the beauty is you have the actual battery, is a replaceable battery in this. Is these 18650 batteries. I just ordered 2 more of these. I love the feature. 6.5 hours of runtime on a battery. Carry 2 batteries with me, and I just ordered more because I use this thing so much. I love the thermals. I love everything about them and what they are. They're fun and they're an effective tool. We will cover philosophy of use here in a few videos coming up we're going to do on this thing as far as what you can do with it and how valuable it is for so many different purposes. Hang on, I'm going to get that set there, drop in. Oh, I didn't push the battery in all the way. And get that to pop in. Come on, drop in there. I must have did something wrong here. Did I put that in right? Hold on. That is going that way. There we go. And there it is, sorry. My failure. And there we go. And that pops in. And that locks it, and it's in. But I love that battery, that you can replace the battery on this. I don't have to worry about charge running out. On all my other thermals, you get 10 hours, 9 hours, 11 hours of runtime, but like I said, your battery's running down, you start getting nervous. And these things are so much fun to use, you don't want to turn it off. It's just a straight up blast to use this. So, but philosophy of use, you name it. Anything from security to hunting to animal recovery to, fun factor for family time out cruising and looking for animals in fields to to working around your house to check for hotspots. I show video of this. It is amazing. I scanned my entire ceiling and I learned exactly where I have little insulation. We got blown in insulation up there, and it was quick and easy to figure out exactly where my weak spots were, to find the hot or cold zones around the house, the doors, things like that. So valuable. Okay, so thermal's amazing. Let's talk about this real quick, the main menu features. So we're going to cover these so I don't miss any of them for you. Again, we got the app option on there. You have picture in picture. Picture in picture is pretty cool because it lets you look normal, and it's got a zoomed in feature. So as you find something, you hit it, there's another box above it, picture in picture, and it zooms it in. So you don't got to keep zooming in, zooming out. You can scan and find it. When you see it, just look up and it's right there, and it does a zoom in feature. Picture in picture is pretty cool. You got your brightness controls, contrast, sharpness. You got your network for Wi-Fi, which is set up so you can run it through the app on here. It does have a measuring system in it. Its targets are deer, gray wolf, brown bear, and a custom. And basically, you put the edge of that animal on there and you kind of eyeball it. It's going to give you an approximate distance. I don't play with that too much. And it has hot tracking, so it's going to move with whatever's in the screen. The hottest thing in the screen is going to track. It's cool. Neat feature. Honestly, I find it kind of annoying, so I don't use it because it's just bouncing all over the screen with the thing on there. You can also record audio in this too. You can record pictures and video, but the video can also have audio. That's pretty sweet. You got a warm and a cold tone on here. I have not played with that yet, but I'm assuming it's for the temperatures of the daytime. You know, if it's a real hot day, you're going to want to put it on warm. If it's real cold, put it on cold. I have not experienced that yet or played with it. The auto screen shutoff, I just talked about that. The function darkens the screen to save energy, but it comes right back on. And it's not like it's going to save a tremendous amount, but it's a nice feature. I just wish, like my other thermals, once you tap it, it would stay off until I tap the power button again and then be instantly on, rather than coming on by motion. That, like I said, I'm not a fan of, but again, it's not like there's a huge power savings there anyway. I'm really not that super worried about it. You have scene mode, jungle, and recognition. Jungle mode is basically everything darkens out more, but it's supposed to highlight. It makes it more contrasty and easier to see some of that kind of stuff. I've not used it on this. I've used it on my other AGM one, has that mode as well too. It's kind of cool, but I actually prefer recognition mode. Recognition, the edges are sharp, everything is defined, real easy to tell if it's a deer, if it's a hog, if it's a fox, whatever it is that you're looking at. So I like that. You got all your standard stuff as far as what you want on the screen. You want your date showing up, all that kind of things on there. And then they break it down for you and they go through how to set everything. The instruction manual on this thing, perfect. Pure flawless. Nothing that you can, I mean, every menu setup is super simple on this. It's basically, you have a mode button on here, and then you have your top button is your zoom, then your mode, and then your camera button. Well, the mode button also filter or cycles through all your menus, and then you got your up and your down are these two. It's a real simple process. And your modes that you have on this thing, I think I covered those earlier. I don't remember. It's been a week or so since I made that video. We'll highlight these features on here, though, and I'll tell you about these real quick. Specs type things. Okay, this is a 384 by 288 resolution detector. This thing is insane. I think the most we see today is going to be 684 or something like that, and I think those ones are double the price of this. This one on the website is $1,535. I'm sure street price is lower than that, but those when you get into the 620s or 600 resolutions, which is basically double this, that price doubles as well too. Those are high end. But this one, this is flawless. I have a 120 resolution. Okay, or 160 or whatever it is, resolution one. We'll do a comparison video coming up soon. You're going to see this in a lot of videos. We're going to do some serious thermal videos on a bunch of different variations and philosophy of use kind of thing. But I have the 120. I got the 256 in the top down, and I have this 384. The difference between all three is absolutely amazing, and this one just stands out. I've never used something as nice as this when it comes to that. Me and my wife were just out running this and the 256 one, out looking for animals and stuff, and the difference was shocking how great this is. The other one picked them up, but this one I could see the detail. I could see the antlers actually on it. You could see things. So very nice features to this. This has got a 50 megahertz image frame rate, how fast it'll refresh, advanced image processing. It's got the 10 by 24 by 768 resolution display, what you're seeing through there and there. Quick activation in 3 seconds, built-in record, 16 gig built-in memory module, Wi-Fi hotspot. Now the zoom, it says 1248 zoom. That is kind of interesting because that varies on which one you get. We'll cover that. Replaceable rechargeable battery, 6.5 hours of battery time on one battery, and they are replaceable. And so that's basically it. You can also do external power supply capability. So like if you were using it on a handlebar setup, like I said, something like that, you could actually plug that right in and run that and power that through a power pack if you wanted to. I would not. I would keep it simple. Again, these batteries are quick to replace. The batteries are cheap and are rechargeable, and it gets 6.5 hours of runtime. I would leave it like that, but you could run it from a battery pack if you wanted to. Even around camp, we're going to do a lot of, again, even camp security from raccoons and things like that. It's just such a valuable tool. It is such a valuable tool. So we'll dive into that. This is also waterproof, ruggedized housing on it's amazing. But to tell you about the features or modes on here, where is my? It shows it in here. Hang on. I know what they are, but I want to make sure I call it what they call it. 1 second. Sorry, trying to get to it. The modes, because it's got basically 4 modes to it. Sorry, I'm trying. I'll just cut this part out of the video. Where is our modes? Power on, power off, control. Screen thermal viewing. Color palette, here we go. All right, so the color palette in here, you have white hot, okay? The hot part of the display is white. The higher the temperature, the lighter the color. White hot is my favorite. I use white hot the most because it just jumps at me, but everything is basically gray for the most part as you're looking at it. When you see something with a thermal signature, boom, it's like glowing, like literally glowing, not just white. I mean, it's glowing. You'll see it in the pictures here. Black hot, it's the exact opposite. Okay, everything is black in there that shows. Black hot is pretty cool for when you're getting into low light kind of stuff. Like if you're walking out at night in the woods, you're walking out and you want to see and scan things. If you're running and on a bike or you're using any of that kind of stuff, what's nice about black is everything is basically very muted down, so it's not overpowering on your eye to be looking through the display versus your night vision that you have. And then anything that's on there that's So the thermal signature, it pops really a bright black. So really easy. Fusion is the one that looks rainbowy, where it shows all the different colors on there. It works good. And then you got red hot, which is basically a white hot version where everything that's hot in there is going to turn up as red. So simple 4-mode. None of the fancy other gimmicky kind of modes that may or may not benefit you. You get white hot, black hot, fusion, and red hot. All you need right there on it too, and it does it perfect. So this thing is incredible. This thing is amazing. Diopter adjustment. We have our focus ring right here on the front. So depending on your distances you're usually using, I kind of average this out, but you have a focus ring. Again, if you're looking at a buck and you want to see, and you can pick up antlers with this, and you're seeing that buck and he's got antlers and you want to see better, you can actually focus this real precise to be able to identify and count points on there. I set it up generally about probably 40 yards, 50 yards away, and it's pretty close to spot on focus-wise. I don't have to adjust it. But like I said, so many features, so many functions. I just ordered on Amazon 2 water bottle pouches that I'm going to use for this, but they seem to be the dimensions I want. But basically a 1,000 Cordura Molly style water bottle that you stick a 20-ounce water bottle in, and it's drawstring tops on it. Well, I'm going to put that where I can put that, and I can mount it on my belt, mount it on my pack, put it wherever I want to. And I also have just a lanyard on here like this, just so like I said, when we're cruising and we're using this thing driving, I don't have to hunt around or set it down. I can just pick it up. It's right here, and I can scan stuff. But this thing's amazing. So we're going to go ahead and roll into the video for you right now so you can see the differences, but expect to see more of these. There will be more videos coming on this. I love these things. I straight up love them. If you remember, I had that Leopold one, 8 years ago. That was my first time into this. Loved it. Gave that one away. I haven't had any since then. And then I bought the AGM 160 a year ago. Love that one too. Then I got the top down one, which was going from the 160 to a 250 whatever, 256. Love that one. Then we got this one, 386. Honestly, my next one will probably be something, but when you get, we'll go into a 600 series, but when you do, they're paying a lot of money for it. I think this world right here, this 384 resolution is affordable. Again, realistically, street price, it costs about as much as an iPhone does. And think about how many times people buy that stuff without blinking an eye. And this is such an incredible tool. So this, I think, is the sweet spot right here. Now, again, we'll redo a video where we're going to review all 3 of them in a row so you can see them side by side. We'll take them out. We'll run them all right off next to each other. We will have that coming up. But for this review of this, amazing. And we're going to go ahead and click in the video here part where you can see some of the videos I've recorded with it, some of the pictures, and I'll walk you through that as we do it. So, all right, here we go. All right, here we go. We're going to look at some of the images of these. Now, these are the size they come out. These are real size. I can blow them up and bring them in closer, but we're going to pixelate as it does. You got to understand that. So some I will, some I'm going to show a standard. This is actually showing a squirrel that I captured on here with a screenshot at like 35 yards from a tree stand. So there it is again. Here it is again. This is squirrel. There's 2 squirrels, and like I said, that's pretty impressive for being 35, 40 yards away through this thick brush and being able to pick them out. So pretty cool. Here it is, the same. That's a squirrel in black mode. You can see how well that does. Again, I'm going to go through this quick because I got videos as well in here too. You'll see there's 2 squirrels on fusion mode. And again, I will zoom more in, but real world, there it is on red mode. 2 squirrels on red hot. You can see the red hot here and here. We're going to show you a bunch of different animals, a bunch of things. There's a squirrel in a tree on black hot. You're going to see a video here in a second. It's going to pop up in here. There's zoom level. Look at this. Okay, let me back up. So here's 2x, which is a base start for this unit. Starts at 2x because it is the number it is. And goes to 4, and then goes to 8, and then it goes to 16. Even at 16, I can see the head of the squirrel, the feet of the squirrel. I can see the hump of his back, the hips on here. I can see everything, and it's just a long ways away. Okay, a long ways away. Look how far away this is of a squirrel in a tree. It's pretty impressive. So very impressive there. Here's a video of that same squirrel. Again, when I zoom this in, we're going to lose some resolution, because it's just, it's what's happening. You can even see it in the numbering up here. Like I said, we're losing sharpness. But this is that squirrel in that tree, shot through a bunch of branches. There's a lot of brush here. You can see the branches are these clear spots. But you can see it move through there. And this is on black mode of that squirrel moving through a tree. So pretty impressive. to be able to see that far away on such a little animal. Moving on from there, there's my truck. When I popped out of the woods, it's been sitting for about 4.5 hours. That is on white hot, black hot, fusion, and that is on red hot. Here's a raccoon on a log, walking on a log out there, probably about 45, 50 yards away. Zoomed into 8x. Here's another video. Now, this video is pretty important. I am going to not zoom in on this, but what we're doing here is showing you I am driving at 30 miles an hour. I'm just holding it out the window. Look, you can see a white spot every once in a while. These are deer. This brush is high. Okay, this brush is 5, 6 feet tall. And as I'm driving through here, you'll see these little spots. Those are deer out there. But I'm showing you how well you can actually run this thing at 30 miles an hour. And I'm just hand holding it out the window. I'm not even looking through it. I'm just trying to hand hold it while I'm driving a rough, bumped out, washboard, dirt road. There's a regen happening, but you can see how well this thing is scanning at 30 miles an hour. Now, pretty soon I'm going to slow down to about 15 miles an hour. Right about here, I'm slowing down to about 15 miles an hour and showing you the same thing. And you can see, even in this super dense woods, how well this is going through there. And see those white spots? That's a deer. That's a deer out there, and he's buried in that heavy brush. So very impressive is how this thing scans when you're moving. Here's a picture of that deer out there, just a screenshot I grabbed from it. We'll see more. Here's a video of him out there too. And again, keep in mind, this is a deer in super tall, high brushes. You can just see his head sticking up over top of this. This is real thick stuff out here. And so pretty impressive. And I'm fighting through a lot of this stuff. So it does a good job. Here's one that's a little closer. We'll zoom in on it more. You can see a deer right here, probably 50 yards away. I don't think I go through modes on this one, but there it is. And again, sorry about the shaking and hand holding. I'm fighting it out the side of a window. Now this one I might go through some modes. Let's see here. I zoom in. Here's 4 power. There's 8 power. And there's 16 power. And again, this is in thick brush. You'll see some in the open coming up in this. We got a lot of stuff we're going to get through, but pretty neat to see for you to be able to check out. I don't think I go through the modes on this one. I do not. But you can see how he disappears behind anything solid. But as long as there's a way for any kind of a line of sight to get there, that thermal will pick up that heat signature. Very impressive. This one here, maybe this is one I go through some modes. I'm not quite sure. We'll zoom in again. But again, as I zoom in, we lose resolution. There he goes cruising through there. But they jump out like a sore thumb. This is in white hot mode. Moving on from there, what do we got here? This is a bird. That's a bird out there, 50 yards, pecking on the ground in black mode. This is during daylight. I see him with my binoculars. That's why I knew to put this on there. Thought I'd just test it. But yeah, it's a bird pecking the ground. Pretty crazy. I think I might go through the modes. That's black hot. There's fusion. Look at him jump out right there at fusion. Then we go to red hot. You can see him glowing down there. And then we go to white hot. And then this is a picture of a deer buried out there. We're going to keep going. Like I said, those images get better. What I'm trying to show you here is how well you can see them through the brush. That is the crazy part here, is how well you can actually see these deer through the brush, through thick, thick cover. They're still popping out and coming to life for you. That's the whole thing I'm after trying to show you right here. So pretty cool. If they get something that's solid, you're going to lose them. But all it takes is a little speck to be able to find them. A little speck. See them? Boom, boom, and you can see another one back here behind this tree over there too. Okay, so it's kind of all you don't need a lot to be able to thermally identify that there's something there, and then you can see the other one right back there too. And then moving on to here, this one we're going to zoom in a little tighter. Here's the different modes. Black mode, here's a deer right here, and there's a deer walking through this thick, tall brush here. Believe me, if you've never been to South Georgia, you don't know how thick this is. This is all gallberry, and this isn't just sticks. This is super thick green foliage here. And but you can still see both of those deer. And there's white hot again, so you can see that. Moving on from there, here's another one. Let's zoom in on this one. Again, it's going to blur out some as we do, but you can see there's 16 power. And there's 2 power. I don't know if I go through modes on this one or not. I do. There's black mode on 4 power. And then we're going to go to fusion. There's 8 power there. 16 power. Maybe we don't go to any other modes. See if we do. Yep, there's fusion mode. And there's red hot mode. White hot mode. So pretty cool. Here's a deer right here. Again, you can see how good the resolution is when I leave this video small. Okay, but there's black mode, there's fusion mode, and there's red hot mode, back to white. You can see other deer right here too coming in. And then we got this one. You know, here's out in a farmer's field. Again, when I zoom this in, we're losing resolution for this, but you can see them here as a refresh happening. But you can see there's fusion mode. Now, these are probably 70 yards, 75 yards out there in the middle of this farmer's field at night. And what's neat is, remember, I'm in Georgia, so even though it's nighttime, temperatures are still above 60 degrees. So it's, I mean, imagine if you were in somewhere up north where you were in the cooler temperatures, these would pop even more than this. You'd get such a serious thermal change in there. So pretty impressive. Thing does an amazing job. Again, it's so far out, I'm trying to hand hold it here, which is a little tricky to do. But look at how detailed. Like I said, it's so impressive for what this thing does. We got another one of them right here. Look at out here. You can see them all. Again, when I zoom in, we lose resolution, but there's just deer everywhere. I mean, everywhere you go, everything you're looking at, we just got deer running all over. Clear as day, easy to see, easy to identify. Pretty neat, and they just jump right out. Then here is actually a rabbit. This is a rabbit in a right off the side of the road in a brush pile there. Here's two rabbits right there on the side of the road, right here in this super thick brush. But like I said, if there's any way that that thermal can penetrate through there, it will pick them up and you will find them. Here's two deer walking through a field. Here's they are in fusion mode. This is actually a deer's ear bedded behind a log. I seen his head up earlier, so I knew it was there. But like I said, if the thermal can pick something up, you're going to get that hot spot verification that there's something there. So this is an ear of a deer that is bedded behind that log. Here's an owl in a tree, quite a ways out there, but there's an owl. And here's Tina on the porch when we got home from doing this trip. So there she is. She doesn't know where I am. It's dark out. She can't see me. Here, you're going to see a picture of her on the porch. I'm about 45 yards away from her here, 45, 50 yards away. And she's just standing there. It's pitch black out there. She has no idea where I am. There's black mode, fusion mode, red hot mode. And here she's going to walk away. I just told her, go in the house, but she doesn't know where I am. She's playing. She's like, can you still see me? But like I said, you can see the quality of this. The resolution is just insane. And then here we are going to be, this is a cool thing here. My wife put a bin out there on the porch for these cats, so a couple neighborhood cats so they can sleep in it and, you know, get out of the cold weather. Well, here's a cat that's in it. It's just a little opening that you can see him through, but even because his body's leaning against here, you can see the heat source of his body against here. You'll see it real good in red hot. There it is in there. Here's infusion. There it is in red hot. You can even, with red hot, see this other cat leaning, it's on the inside of it, leaning against it there, showing that heat source. Here's my Christmas lights that are plugged in. You can see the heat coming out of the outlet and coming through the extension cords there at my power strip that's right there. Pretty neat to see. Right there. Same here it is in fusion mode. What you're seeing hot under here is underneath my truck because my truck is parked there and it's warm. Same with the red hot mode. Now this is a pretty cool one. This one caught me off guard. Notice you can see in here the red marks on my tires. Okay, well to turn into my driveway, I come off of my main town road and I do a 180-degree U-turn. I come up this way and I do a big U-turn right here, right into my driveway. Well, by doing that, you can see the actual, how it heated up that outside tread just to make that hard turn, basically dragging this inside tire. That's pretty cool. And then you see the heat from the rotors. When we go to this one, there's the grill of it, heat from the front rotors, but notice these front tires don't have any of that super crazy hot stuff. You can see a little bit of the color change here, but on the back one, even here, can see the color change to the grays from the white, but you're not seeing such a variation difference like you did in red hot. So that's kind of cool. There's those cats on the front porch. Again, you can see them through here, through the bin. You can see it red hot right there, or fusion. Red hot shows it real well. Two cats on there. This is my dog on the back of my couch here in white hot mode, black mode, and black mode again. There's Tina in black mode that she didn't even know I was catching it as she was walking through. There is actually showing look at the hot spot for the LCD display on my stove. Okay, it's pretty crazy the stuff you can learn with a thermal. And that you can see, here's candles in our fireplace that we got just sitting in there for decoration. You can see modes, white hot, black hot, fusion coming up, and then followed by red hot. I'm going to pop here for you. There you go. And then this one is showing, this is my bathroom ceiling. And I just installed a new ceiling bathroom fan system and light in there. Well, I had to move some of the blown-in insulation out of the way so I could wire it. You can see the heat loss in cold here that's coming through here because there's no insulation right there. Pretty interesting what you can see with this kind of stuff. Here is showing, look how cold that back corner of my bathroom is because of the tile, and then this being an outside wall and how that corner is, that white being cold temperatures in there that you can see. It's kind of pretty crazy. Moving on from there. Here, same kind of thing. You can see the color change for temperature and see where heat loss is occurring in that corner of the room. I got a 110-year-old house. Here you can see it real well because you got Tina's hot boots because Tina was just in, we just walked in a few minutes earlier. So here's her boots that she wore, heat from her legs and feet inside there. Keep those boots heated up. Look at how cold my whole front door and the windows are right there. Pretty interesting to see that. Here you can actually see the studs in the wall that I have right here. They're retaining that heat. You got the studs here, and that's pretty neat because technically you can use a thermal as a stud finder. I can see right where those are, plain as day, by the heat conditions of how that wood holds the heat. And then same thing here. This is showing where I have a spot of insulation missing in my attic right there, showing that spot right there. So pretty neat to see this stuff. That's not irrelevant stuff right there. We don't need this. And let's go back to this because that's actually what I'm doing a video. But anyway, there you go. It's going to kind of show you some of these details and what you think of it. Any questions you got, put them down below. Thanks for watching.